Hi, my name is Hugh Davis, and this is my God story. Growing up, there wasn't any church or God in my life. My dad was an alcoholic, and my mom divorced him when I was 11 years old. And my older sister and I went to live with my mom. There wasn't much money, and Mom was great. We were the house that all the kids came to and hung around in the neighborhood. And so growing up, I had a lot of loving and supportive and wonderful people in my life. And church and God just wasn't important. So it wasn't until later in life, 1969, I was in Denver for some military training. And I met a girl there, and we dated that whole time. And when the training was over, I said I'd keep in touch, and I went back home to Columbus. Well, I didn't keep in touch, but about 2 weeks later, she called, and she said she was going to drive to Columbus and talk to me about our relationship. I thought, okay, well, we can have some time together, and I can let her down easy. And when she got there, she didn't want to talk about relationships. She wanted to talk about God. Because on the trip, she had met somebody from Bob Jones University, and they'd led her to the Lord. And she couldn't wait to tell me about it. So we spent all night talking about it, and most of the next day. And we decided that our relationship wasn't going to work out. And after she left, we parted friends, but after she left, I couldn't stop thinking about what she'd said. I had to know more. I talked to people, I read the Bible. I struggled. I was stubborn. I was not ready to give in. But about a month later, in my room alone, I got on my knees and I said, Lord, if you're real, I want you in my life and I surrender. Nothing dramatic happened. I still wanted to know more. I was still curious and still struggling with this whole thing about, what do I do now and so forth. And it was about a month later, I was at a party and saw this cute girl, and she was leaving early. And I said, how come? I asked her, why are you leaving early? And she said, well, I have to get up and go to church tomorrow morning. And I said, oh, I've been looking for a good church. Well, it was kind of true, but mostly I just wanted to see her again. So the next morning, we went to this tiny little chapel on Worthington Galena Road called Grace Brethren Church. And about 3 years later, I knew I loved Cheryl. I knew I wanted to marry her. But I knew myself, and I knew my history. So I said a prayer. I asked God, Lord, make me faithful to this one woman. And He honored that prayer. We've been married for 44 years. There's one good thing about getting older. And that's that sometimes God lets you look back and see how He orchestrated your life to protect you, to shape you, to grow you. And I am really looking forward to seeing Him face to face and hearing about all the other times He covered me with His love. And that's my God story.